amazing. Come on. We're amazing. Today is a day that we are going to speak about vibes, vibing, how you feel, the importance of it. You know, this kind of term I use all the time in the past 20 years in different office spaces, corporations, businesses. I always speak about a vibe. And once in my former positions, we had like a little vibe group. It's important to understand the importance of this element in your life. And I want to talk about it with you. So hold on. You know me, we got to take a commercial break, but I will be right back. Life's a movie, let the camera roll. Fast life moving, ain't no going slow. That's right, baby, you already know. You already know. Hope you're ready, steady, rocking. What was that? Hey, welcome back. I had to give you that. I had to. If I didn't give you that, who would give you that? You know what I mean? This podcast is more about the feeling and the vibe more than anything. Part of what I love to speak about is business. I just do. Not your business, but actual business. I also like to speak about lifestyle, energy, family. These are the things I talk about. These are the things that drives me, to drive you, to coach, to motivate, to just stay happy, wellness, mentally, spiritually, and financially. These are the three. When I talk about categories, it's always mentally, physically, and financially. It is. It just is. How can we figure these things out? Well, so the song that you were just hearing is You Already Know by Fergie and Nicki Minaj. And I love this song. I love this song. Recently, when I drive, I always put on my music. And I always choose a station. So I've been listening to, Fergie's station for a minute. The other day, this song came on, and I don't know why it didn't come on recently, but it came on. And I had to listen to this song. Replay. And I was like, oh my God, this song is incredible. Recently, I've been listening to songs, but what I always do when I listen to a song is I listen to the lyrics. I really do, because I want to understand. There's I always want to understand what I'm listening to. And let me tell you, this is full of vibe. For me, vibe is vitality and business edification. It has always been. And, I have been part of other things where we vibe. And, whatever the vibe is in that group, I go for it. But for Fannytasticlife, it's vitality and business edification. It's understanding how to be strong, survive in business. And business has so many different categories, units regarding it, and then edification, the constant learning of self, right? Expanding and moving on to new things. How do we utilize these concepts? Well, you know what? You know me, and I'm going to come back to this, but let's go back to my vibe. So I have been vibing for days. I've been on this vibe. It all started when I was going to my doctor's appointment, and this song came on. And I had this thing where I had this previous doctor that is the highest level where I put the bar of, I want a doctor like this doctor. And recently, when I was living in New Jersey, the doctor I had was very hard to deal with. Personality-wise, no bedside manner, no respect. And when speaking to this person, they kind of made me feel like, I don't know, like I was crazy. Like I didn't know what I was talking about. I have no idea. Just the feeling was just not respectful. And I don't know if it was because of COVID. They also didn't respect my time. Constantly giving me appointments, canceling my appointments, giving me appointments. And it felt horrible. It felt horrible. I get treatment for different things that I'm going through, and I haven't been able to update my prescriptions, and I've been without, I should say, my sustaining life medicine for about 4 years, and I was getting very sick. And so, anywho, long story bearable, I came to this doctor's office with everything in check. I had all my previous updated blood results, all my medical, everything I could bring. I come to this office, immediately I feel the vibe. I'm like, whoa, I love it. Oh my God, I don't know what it is. Everybody here is chill, okay. Is it a high, pristine, in a giant, humongous hospital? No, it's not. And that's one of the things that I needed to step away from. With my previous doctor from New York City, I always felt love, compassion. Yes, love. Understand that word, love. Compassion, respect, open dialogue, feedback, an understanding of each other's wealth of knowledge, and understanding where he's coming from, understanding that he's the professional in his field, and I need to understand he's a subject matter expert. He is, in fact, vibing, and so I need to listen to him. But here's the thing I noticed, the critical difference and key element why I had an amazing experience with my brand new doctor. My previous doctor served the community, and it doesn't matter what kind of healthcare you have, that was the doctor. And at the time, I had a very amazing health, medical insurance where I can go anywhere, right? But this doctor was like, oh, I want to come here. So when I was in New Jersey, I didn't have that. I had limited medical insurance. I could only go to certain places. Now in Florida, I have another insurance. Now, insurance is a key. Insurance is a key opener. It's a ticket to the park, okay? So depending on what level of insurance you have, you may not have eligibility to be seen by many doctors. And unfortunately, sometimes you're even passed over because of your insurance, or in an emergency situation, treated very poorly based on your insurance or lack of coverage. So these are things you also got to consider. So when you meet a doctor that serves the community, their broadband spectrum of insurances that they accept are open, which means that the level of care they're providing is the same level of care to all their patients. And then all the patients in the room are people that have different types of insurance. Now, why I appreciate that is when you think about that this person is going to provide care to different people, different types of levels of insurances, but it's the same level of care and respect. That's someone who's serving their community. When there's a doctor that limits the type of care that they will take, then their clientele is limited, and therefore it's not a feeling I enjoy, okay? So I go see this doctor, I show him my paperwork, and then he's amazing. He reminded me of my previous doctor. He actually listened, he cared, he showed empathy. By the time our appointment was over, I cried and I was in tears. And he basically said, listen, COVID has affected us all this past couple of years, and we're here to support you in your journey of health. Say no more. This person took me to a new level of vibe. So now I'm getting in my car, I refresh my station, I'm about to go home. I check in with my husband just to let him know everything's up and up. I get in the car, and then that song comes on again. You already know. I was like, oh, life's a movie. I was like, yes, I needed to hear this. And maybe a higher element was like, hold up, you need to hear this right now. And I felt amazing. I went home and I had a letter in the mail. And I was like, what is this? And it's like a package, a tubular cardboard package. And I'm like, what did I order? I'm like, what is this? I take it inside, I open it up, and it's Caricature by Akbar. So I'm just gonna give him a shout out. Yo, what's up? Thank you so much. Caricatures by Akbar. This caricature was right on time. Have you ever heard that expression? You are right on time with this. Someone tells you something, gives you something, but it serves the exact moment that it is needed. So it was right on time. Sometimes you're at the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't want that to happen, but this was right on time. It's a picture of me caricaturized graduating with a cap and a gown. Let me tell you, I'm gonna get emotional. Let me tell you the value, okay? This year I said, oh gosh, I'm gonna graduate with my master's. I'm a grown woman. I've been in college since 1999, okay? During my journey of education, I'm just going to throw this out there. During my journey of education, the World Trade Center event happened. And my campus at the time was used to hold bodies. Not only did that happen, I worked at the World Trade Center. And that was the one day I called out. I'm not going to get into this story because I'm getting emotional. So within that happening, and then, and my mom had just passed away. And she was a young woman. She was only 47 years old at the time. Then I decided, I don't know. Then my husband encouraged me to go back to school. He was my number one encouragement, like, you should go back to school. So then I went back to school. When I went back to school, I found out that I was pregnant with my husband's and my first child ever in this world. And I'm going to get to why that's important, because it is. That meant that now here I am going to school, a mother, a wife, and I have lots of responsibilities. And at that time, I had 3 jobs. Okay? A lot of people don't know this about me, but I had 3 jobs. Okay? And so my husband at that time, he's like, look, you're working full time. You have 2 part-time jobs. You're going to school and you're about to have a baby. Can you get rid of 2 jobs? I was like, oh no, I cannot. I cannot get rid of 2 jobs. Because that's my mentality. I'm always doing. I'm always a person that does. That's who I am. So what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to put this job on hiatus. I'm going to let go of this job. But, it's going to stay in my back pocket. And I'm going to continue my focus. Within that focus of the next decade plus, I had 2 more babies, graduated finally, and now embarked into my master's program where I'm a professional. And every graduation I've ever had, I had cap and gown because I felt I deserved these moments. And with this one, I couldn't do it because of COVID. And then we moved. We made a life change. Understand, a life change event. We picked up, put our house on the market, and went to Florida. And a lot of people don't understand the idea of why we did that. I told you, I follow my finances very closely. And at this point, I said, it is in our best interest. This is my family home. This is everything that I love. But it is in our best interest to sell right now in this market. So we did. By going to Florida, I missed my graduation. We had a virtual opportunity that I took. But understand, my cap and gown came in the mail. So I never experienced the graduation. And some of you may say, well, that's not important to you. To me, it's high importance because I don't have a mother and father to salute. I don't have anybody there to salute. So within myself, I have these voices of, Fanny, you did it. In the voice of my mother, in the voice of my father, in the voice of my grandparents who were a big part of my life. So I need to do this. It's part of my next step in my own journey. So when I see this caricature, I'm in cap and gown. I'm like, wait, this is too much. And then here's the other part, okay? I'm a woman of a certain age. And now I'm getting grays. And I don't want to know that. And so I was going to go through this big, okay, should I dye my hair? What should I do? So every quarter, I usually dye my hair because I don't want the grays. And so I was about to go get a change of a hairstyle, move the part, get a cut. But when I saw the picture, I was like, no, that's me. That's how I wear my hair. That's who I am. Even the way the eyebrows looked, I was like, wait, that is how I see myself. Not necessarily how I am perceived, but who I am in my own vision. I was like, dang nabbit, I'm going to go ahead and do my hair like I normally do. It's like just like a dark rinse to cover the grays. And I'm going to stay with my hairstyle and I'm going to stay loving myself. You understand? When you can physically love yourself, and I don't mean being a narcissist or egocentric, when you can love yourself, there's a fulfillment there that I must explain, that there's something about you that you love. I always tell my children, love God, love yourself, then love me. Because if you can't love you, you cannot love me. And yes, I love me. But when you truly can say, wow, I value who I am, it changes your life. It does. It does change your life. And the reason why my children are so important, I'm going to tell you this part. So how I celebrate my life, I do what makes me happy. Do I figure out things? I budget things? Yeah, we all do this. We all carry on with our daily activities, budgeting, to-dos, whatnot, finances, all these things. We carry on always what we're supposed to do as adults. But I do enjoy my life, and I'm never, ever, ever not going to enjoy my life because I learned something late on in life. And I mention this a lot, right? Here you are born. Here you are, you die. You're not really sure when you're going to die, and you're not really sure when you're going to be born. But the truth is, in between, you don't know what's going to happen in your life. And then it's over. Take the trip. Buy the shoes. Do the crazy hair. Get the shirt that you want. Go dance in the party. Enjoy these moments. Put the phone down. Enjoy these moments. Why? Because you don't know if it's your last moment. That's a lesson I've had to painfully learn. And I don't think people should go through that lesson. And I always heard, you don't need to bleed. You don't need to see the blood to know you bleed. I'm telling you, you bleed. Trust. Enjoy your life. Okay? Now, with that said, when I go to the pool, when I go to the lake, when I go to the beach, I'm a big woman. Okay? I'm a big woman. And I will wear what the heaven I decide to wear. Whatever it is I decide to wear. And sometimes I have slogans on my bathing suits or my bikinis, and I don't care because I'm living my best life. And for me to live my best life, I can't worry what everyone believes I should be living. A cover up or something. I can't. Now, I have had people say, Fanny, why don't you lose weight? Excuse you. First of all, step right out of my circle to even say that to me. I have a condition called hypothyroidism. Even when treated, my metabolism is slow. There's nothing I could really physically do outside of my treatment. Now, in the highest level of hypothyroidism, and I had polycystic ovary syndrome, I was very heavy, like in the high 300 pounds. And I had a procedure in 2005 that was a gastric bypass. There's no shame, okay? I take all the shame away. If you're like, oh, I can't believe she said that. I certainly did. And at the beginning stages, I was one of the first beginning stage patients to do this procedure. Guess what? I did it for a lot of reasons. I also had other health issues. I lost a lot of weight. And you know what? More than I lost a lot of weight, I earned a lot of lessons in life. First of all, the procedure was a success. And afterwards, I didn't realize I had to maintain certain vitamins in my life because immediately all my hair fell out. And I got very slim, like bony. And I became to not even understand how to eat again because I had to relearn everything. And the other problem is I didn't take it too seriously. And then I realized, okay, wait a minute. My doctor, who I love, was like, listen, you have went from hypothyroidism and now you're hyperthyroidism. So we have to find the balance. And I didn't think that can happen, but it did. So he helped me find the balance. Part of the balance is understanding what my healthy weight is. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you put on a shirt and that shirt's a large, but then you wear another shirt and it's a medium, and then you wear another shirt and it's XXL. Depending on the type of style, it might be different sizes. Let's say you get on the scale and it says 115 pounds. Then you get on the scale and it says 120 pounds. But to the eye, you look great either way, right? So some people, depending on their height and their proportions, have to be a certain weight. And if they gain 5 pounds, they look it, right? So with me, I'm like that. Most of the time, people can't guess my size, and that's fine. But my weight has nothing to do with my intellect. My weight has nothing to do with my personality, how amazing I am, nothing, okay? But this number can bother people, and that's their problem. It's not my problem, okay? So my healthy weight specifically is 190 to 220. Now, some people think women weighing 220, oh my God. That's okay that you think that, right? So I'm gonna tell you why it's okay. I am married and I have children. Am I out here trying to find you? No, I'm not. So continue with your happiness and I'm gonna continue with mine. Now, at this point, I haven't had my medicine. And so now I'm over in my hypothyroidism where I'm at a standstill. So now this new doctor was like, wait a second, you have hypothyroidism. Look at your blood. You need to be taking medicine. Exactly. So now I'm back on my treatment and I feel great. And I actually feel better. And so this is the point. I can't control certain things. So if an extra little chubbiness is going to affect other people, then they're affected. But guess who is still in a positive vibe? I am. That's perception. How we perceive ourselves against how other people perceive us is important. Let me explain. People perceive things to be a certain way, and it can be chaotic to them. If someone is wearing something, doing something, it affects them. But you need to take control that it doesn't affect you. And I always preach this. I say, if someone's upset with you, too bad for them, because you're fine. Oh, you're offended? I'm okay. You can't stop how you feel based on how other people feel. Now, is there something that you did that truly offended this person? Then own up. If you hurt someone, then you need to own up on that. However, you can't walk on eggshells. You just can't. You already know. Back to Fergie. When she says, fast life moving. Let's analyze that. Your life is going to be continuous to the end. Who knows when the end is, but it's continuous. So what are you doing in the meantime? Okay, so let's get away from the body image and let's move to what you're doing. So sometimes we get in a rut, right? We're sitting down. Time is passing. I don't know if we tick, whatever you're doing. And it's like you lose track of everything. That's okay. That's okay one day a week. Here's the next day. That's not okay. Now, again, that's my perception. You may have your own. You got to get up out of a rut. It's okay to be down on yourself sometimes. There's 30 days in a month. Schedule the day you're down on yourself. Good. This is what I want you to do. Open up a calendar and say, on the 15th of the month, I'm going to be down on myself. On the 15th of the month, when the 15th comes, you're like, well, I don't feel down. I feel great. But you can't move that date. So now you don't feel down. You still feel good. Oh, I'm not going to feel down about myself. And today's the 16th. So now you gave yourself no permission to feel down. Is that crazy? No, that's taking control of your thought process. Because I don't know if you noticed this. When you have an appointment coming, I'm going to have an appointment on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Tuesday at 2 o'clock, you're working towards that appointment. You know, okay, I can't mess with you on Tuesday. Nope, we cannot go there on Tuesday. Because listen, Tuesday I have my appointment. So I don't know what you're working on, but I got to do this on Tuesday. Because that is a point in time. Is it real? Is it tangible? Can you touch it? No, you cannot. But it exists. So I like to use my calendar, right? Okay, on this day I'm going to do this, on that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Today, I'm going to go to the pool at this time with my kids. Because to you, it's an authentic, real moment that's going to happen. And then if you tell someone, hey, listen, on Wednesday, 1 o'clock, we're going to the pool. Now this person is in a belief that this is what's happening on Wednesday. Wednesday, 1 o'clock, they're in their bathing suit, have their towel, sunscreen, ready to go. Now you got to get with it because you already made a commitment of this moment in time for this person. Understand? So now life's moving. So go ahead, take the advice. Schedule the day in the month that you're entitled to be down. You know, Wednesday's coming, and on that day, I'm going to be totally down. Please, I'm going to be upset, I'm going to be angry, I'm going to be crying in the shower. Wednesday comes. Well, I don't want to cry in the shower, and I'm not angry. Commit to say I'm going to cancel this appointment. Move on. You get it? You control your life. You manifest what you want to happen. Okay? That's how life is. That's it. Oh, I didn't know that was going to be on sale. You sure did. If you follow the market, look at when it was purchased. When is it about to expire? Here within this 6 weeks of supply and demand, this is when it's going to go on sale. You can figure it out, but you don't want to, and that's okay. Don't have to. So when it's on sale, hey, it's on sale. It's a surprise. You can also live like that too. You can take complete ownership all the way to the end, or you can just let it go and enjoy all the way to the end. But either way, in either direction, understand that the lines are parallel and they meet. coplanar, right? Is that what it's called? I may have said that incorrectly. But here's the point. It's your vibe. It's what you put out there. Now, you already know, back to the title of the song, people will try to come to you with the bad vibe. What do? Listen, sometimes I yell at my kids. I'm like, right? They're like, Mom, you're like so toxic. You are so toxic right now. Sometimes it's what they did, and I'm upset about it. But, I can rethink that movement and say, I could have been more strategic and did that a little differently. Like, engage with them, understand what happened, why they did it, and take the time for it. Sometimes you don't got time for that and you flip out. It happens, okay? Own up. Hey, you know what? Sorry that I had a bad vibe earlier. This is what I meant to do, and I'm sorry that I addressed it that way. Now, when it's approached to you, let me tell you, if you come to me with a bad vibe, I turn my back on you. I physically turn around. I just turned around. I don't know if you felt it. And I give you my back. Because people want to talk to your face. You're not going to talk to my back. Oh, but wait, I needed to. Nah, not got time right now. I'll talk to you later. Deal with my back. Now, if you want to talk on my back, go for it. I'm not paying attention because I'm a person that when you speak to me, I need to see your mouth moving or hear what you're saying physically, look at your body language. That's the type of communicator I am. And I'm hard of hearing on my left ear. So I really lean in on my right and engage. When I pull away my right and give you my left and then physically turn around like I just did just now, I'm not engaged. I decide when I engage, you understand? And I maintain my positive energy. Now, let's say you catch it and you throw it and it hits me, you get a negative vibe. Have a great day. I always start our podcast with good day because I want you to feel the positive message that's going to come to you. I end with good day. Have a good day. Take care. Because I want you to walk away with the positive. You can try it. You can. There will be those moments where people will catch your vein. Or you'll read something. You're like, no. You ever watch something like, oh my God, I don't want to see this. And you keep watching. I'll say, oh my God, I don't want to see this. And I close my eyes because I don't want to see it. Or if someone's like, hey, can I tell you something? You can always say, you know what? I'm not interested, but thank you. You're like, wow, they'll be offended. But you're telling them, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Now, I would be very upset if your kid was like, hey, Mom, can I tell you about Minecraft? And you're like, I'm not interested. I would be very angry with you, okay? My vibe to you may not be a positive one because my kids will sit there and go, Mom, can I tell you about bop, 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 beep, bop, bop, boop, 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 bop, 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 beep, bop, bop. And I'm just like, actually, it's more like bop, bop, beep, bop, bop. And you know what, though? I'll say, I didn't know that. And I'll ask questions. And now I hear, and then I use lava. Now I actually can hear what they're saying because I'm understanding. And now I'm inquiring because they're my kid. I need to be interested. However, we all come across this person in our lives that will repeat things to us. Hey, did I ever tell you? And I do that. I will repeat things all the time. It means so much to me if you say, hey, you know what? You told me that. Oh, I did? Oh, my bad. And move on. Because you need to check. Let me just check you real quick. It's always okay. It's hard, right? Recently someone told me the story that somebody who is mentoring them, I'm going to use that word, was disrespectful in a sense. Here's the thing. Within our professional development, there are times where we are the mentees. We learn from someone, oh, this is how they're doing it. That's great. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we ask questions. That person, your mentor, is doing their professional development where they are serving people in a capacity that makes them their mentor. So they're developing skills as a mentor and they're coaching. And then they move on and they might get mentored again and they become the mentee, and it's a cycle. It is not in their interest to be disrespectful to you, but it is in your interest to state, oh, this is very interesting that you're mentioning this, the positives and the negatives, their vibes. So in these positive vibes, I always say go with the positive first, and I'm going to tell you why. In these positive vibes, I'm doing this, this, and that. Wonderful. Now, you mentioned these negative vibes. Can we explore that? Now, the negative vibe may be just a nasty comment they made or some type of energy that was not acceptable. When you rolled your eyes at me, what did I do wrong? Here's the thing. And so if you were thinking, is she crazy? Yes. If someone says to you, they get mad at you, they're disrespectful to you, and they say to you, I don't know, something like, you're an idiot. Here's a comment. I would never say that. I don't say words like that. But let's just say they did. And I would say, did you just say that I was an idiot? Why do you feel that way? Now they have to own it. Because let me tell you something. When you come to a battle of wits unprepared, it's a short learning moment. It is a learning curve. It is a baptism by fire. If you're going to come to me with a disrespectful tone and a negative vibe, I'm going to have you address it. I'm not going to be offended because you own that, but I want to understand your point of view. Oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't say, I didn't. A lot of those I didn't come out of that. Well, let's reflect this. Was I disrespectful to you? Was my tone off? Did I not give you the information you required? And then they start to get into their feelings. Well, I felt this way because. And then you both learn from that moment. And it becomes a non-negotiable that that person will not address you that way because you will own the moment and make them accountable. You understand? So let's digest that. How does that work? That works by you maintaining your positive vibe. And that's hard. But understand that you are in a program where you have a mentor. That person's also in a program that they have a mentee. So you both have to fulfill each other's need. And this is part of vitality and business edification I'm speaking about. Understanding how you perceive things, but understand how people perceive you and how it's not a prescription. You don't got to fill that in. You can go ahead and move about and continue doing amazing things. I hope that made sense. I know there was a lot of turns I took there, but at the end of the day, you already know. Hope you're ready, steady, rocking. Exactly. And if, there's this thing I say to people. I say this thing. When somebody says something to you that is unacceptable, if you just say typical, that's from the great Vice President Carmen Alvarez. If you say typical in your brain, just typical, in your brain, not out loud, you're able to move past it. It's like you just kind of rolled over it. Okay? You move past it. It helps. When you need a little bit of motivation, sometimes I just give myself 2 snaps. Like if I'm like, okay, I gotta do this, all right, let's go. That's what I always do. And if I need my kids to do something, I go, let's go. That's their motivational snap. It's like a cue word that I've been giving to them since they were babies. So that they know when I say that, we gotta move. We gotta get moving. Even with my dogs. Let's go. That's the term. Myself, I say it, but I give myself 2 snaps. And sometimes a song, like you already know by Fergie and Nicki Minaj, can do that too for you, where it keeps you in the movement in your brain, like I'm gonna get this done. The rhythm, this is the rhythm I have to do things and feel good. It's important we get this early on, especially to our children. There's highs, there's lows, and let me tell you something. Your kids may deal with you, okay? Now when they enter the real world of society, there's gonna be people that are nasty to them for no good reason. And they're going to remember either 2 things. Ooh, when I was at home, it wasn't that bad. And, oof, thank God I was prepared for this new journey. Some of your children will be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. That's not what you want. You want them to be prepared. So your life lesson, when your kids see you and how you handle things, they're going to mimic that. They are. Now, sometimes someone's like, I don't know what I did wrong. That's okay too. Because you know what? Again, when somebody is on their own, that's on them. It could be your own baby. It can be your own sibling or parent. You can't control their life. You can only control you, right? That's important to understand. Like when you think of like a show like The Truman Show, right? It's all about one person and his perspective. Everyone's serving that person. Sometimes we live our life like that. Like, am I on TV? Is this real? Can this be happening? This self-realization usually happens when we're 26 years old. If you're in college right now, if you've taken Psychology 101, you'll learn this, right? Your cerebral lobe develops in your brain, which gives you the understanding impact of social awareness. We learned this, okay? So those crazy tattoos that we got before we turned 26, at the age of 26, we're like, wait a minute, why did that? That happens, and it's okay. Sometimes you have an earlier realization in the ages of 24, or in the ages of 27, it's a later realization. But either way, around 26 is when it kicks in. Usually when I meet people, I'm like, oh, you're 23. They're like, how'd you know? Something about what your cerebral lobe is not putting out there gave it away. And then when I meet people, I'm like, oh, this person's 30. It's not because of how they look. It's by how they respond to situations, how they act, how they demonstrate. And here's the other thing. Most of you know I have tattoos. In 100% of my business partnerships, consultations, meetings, you will never see them. Because that is also a subconscious prejudice that I need to maintain who I am in my perception and only allow it when I need to allow it. Lastly, I have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, so does the world. And sometimes people Google you and they find things. You will never find anything disrespectful from me. It's all fun and in good nature and no harm intended. But with that said, sometimes there is a perception. So be aware of that. Be aware of your vibe, overall vibe. At the end of the day, when you take awareness of the vibe you have and the vibe you want, your life can change because you're manifesting it. Thank you so much for taking this journey today with me and going full circle, because you already know. Gotta go. Let's go. Bye now.